All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers of GMS here in Phoenix, Arizona. You know, first and foremost, we want to give his all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kodash. Of course, we want to give double honor to the apostles and elders that have taught us his truth and rule well. We also want to say shalom to the speckled bird out there, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. Also want to say shalom to the Akwaf and to the Akim that are listening. You know, we just had a video we were just listening to through our chat that we have going into Donald Trump and going into the fact that they basically lost with Iran. And now we're coming into the Great Depression, to say. You know, this is something that it's inevitable. It was gonna come anyway. You know, this is what this is going to do. It's gonna have food go up. It's gonna have everything go up. How you say it? It's gonna have everything go up really high in price. But also too, this is gonna bring in that digital age, which is what they really want to do and push. You know, going back into the MOTB.
Right. Because all it's just designed to engineer a monetary collapse, man. That's basically what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. It's not like no sudden news that came to oh my goodness, we're about to get a depression. No, this been planned. This was planned 20 years ago, man, to do this.
20.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
go back decades.
When the leads plan things, they plan them in decades, man. You know what I'm saying? So they've been planning to do this, man. You know, they plan wars 10 years, 20 years in advance. You know, so this is basically the coming of the end times, man. Jacob's trouble. But I got this real quick. Isaiah 36:6 said, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, where if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it, so that Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to all that trusted him." So these 2/3 of our people and people in the heathen in general, they trust in this system, man. And they've been leaning on this system. But now that system is going to be the one that's going to break them, man. It's going to one that's going to bring them to extreme poverty, you know, to extreme hunger. Because these are what these are the conditions that all these things are going to bring forth, man. You know, Jacob's trouble. It has to start somewhere. You know, when you're seeing the gradualism, the increments of Jacob's trouble coming to pass. You know, it started with the wars, rumors of wars. You know, it started with earthquakes in diverse places. You know, all the things that Matthew 24 chapter talks about. You know, you're seeing the prophecies of the scriptures, you know, basically coming to life. You know, and we applaud that, man. You know, we rejoice in that. You know, the scripture says to rejoice because your redemption draws nigh. And so we see things like this, that just means that our redemption does draw nigh, or it is near.
Also too, what this is proving too, like the brother was saying, at the end of the day, this is something that they've been planning. Because at the end of the day, that's why you hear throughout time, well, we need a new world order.
Right.
We need a new world order. Every now and again, you'll have different presidents and different people will say, we need a new world order. We need a new world order. Well, what do you think this is? New world order. See, like the brother was saying, at the end of the day, they're all in cahoots with each other. Because when you go into the word new world order, it's the whole world. It's not just certain states. It's the whole world. So when the cameras are not rolling, at the end of the day, regardless of what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz and all of that,
right,
these people have talked to each other about what they really want to do behind camera, behind scenes. Which also puts, can a brother give me Psalms 83? What is that, 1 or 2 through 7? Yeah. Those that are confederate against thee. So when you learn that these people are confederate against thee, you got to understand they're still hand in hand with each other to a certain degree. The problem is once they think they're going to get this infrastructure up and running, who's going to run it?
Right.
And America's like, we're going to run it. And you have all these other nations like, no, which is going to cause what? A war. So even though we're seeing wars and rumors of wars and things that's going on right now, but the end game is what? New world order. For brother, give me that.
Yeah, I got it for you. This is Psalms 83. You start at verse 3, right?
You get or
1. Start 1
or 2.
Or 2 says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." So that crafty counsel I was talking about is these summit meetings.
Yeah.
That they have. You know, these the Bilderbergs. You know, up in California, I think it is. where they go worship the owl. I forgot what it's called. The Bohemian Grove.
Molech.
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 That's one Bohemian Grove. Yeah.
These are all these so-called top-tier leaders of governments and countries and principalities get together, and they do things on the left-hand side, man.
Uh-huh.
And if it's like,
Go ahead, boy, yeah.
because Molech can come in the form of a bull. That's the reason why you'll see certain bulls in areas. But I believe that Molech, at the height of his power, is when he's an owl, because an owl is supposedly all-seeing because they can see at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and owl also represents wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, so they thinking that they know of everything, man. They have all things under control, which they do, because that's the blessing the Lord gave them, man, which is about to come to an end. You know, the blessing of Esau was what? They shall have the fatness of the earth. By the sword he shall live. So they're gonna best believe they're gonna execute that blessing, for as long as they can, for as much as they can. But then when that blessing expires, then that's when Jay's gonna take over, man.
That's right.
But I'm gonna run that back again. For though thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. And that goes back to what, man? Say to the weak that
we are strong.
Yeah. That they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against the hidden ones. Because ultimately, this is a war against Israel, man.
True.
Israel being the so-called black and teal Native Americans to show the people the Bible, not the Ish people over there in what they call Palestine, man. It says they have come and said, let us cut them off from being a nation. That proves it right there, man. Ain't nobody cutting off those Amalekites from being a nation.
Nope.
They're the ones that encouraged them to form this so-called nation of Israel, which is not really the nation of Israel, man. It says where they said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, and the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee.
And there you go right there. They're confederate against it. They've consulted with one consent. Now, when he reads further, you're going to see the tabernacles of Edom, right. The higher echelon of Edom, these Edomites. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, these Edomites are the ones that are pressing for this, which goes right back to a new world order. So at the end of it, like the brother's saying, yes, all of these things are happening, but they're really wanting to get in enough power to get rid of who? The children of Israel. This hasn't changed, even though they're showing you, oh yeah, this is going to affect everybody else, but who do they really want it to affect?
Yeah, because what they're trying to do, ultimately trying to get the birthright back. And they know that the birthright rightfully belongs to Jake, man. Mm-hmm. And they're doing everything on the left-hand side to get it back.
And that birthright goes right back to the time of Jacob and Esau. Mm-hmm. So when Isaac was giving the blessings out, this story touches the time we're in now, and all the way back then, the time of Esau and Jacob. This story is still playing out. Right. Go ahead.
I'll keep on going with that. Yeah, come. This is Psalms 83, and continuing on to verse 6, which lists the enemies of the Most High. To the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes.
The Arabs, you got Moab, Chinese, you got Edom, the so-called Caucasian, what we see today. You have Moab, the so-called Asian, Ammon, the so-called Japanese, Ishmael, the so-called Arabs. So you know who you're playing with, the players in the game.
Yeah, this is all these nations.
Yeah,
that make up the crafty council. That's read in verse 3. So that's like I said, those summit meetings, those United Nations get-togethers, man. Those Bilderberg groups and all that, man. This is the crafty council that they have. Man. It says, I'll jump down to verse 12, because this is the intent of this crafty council, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Most High in possession. All my power, make them like a wheel as a stubble before the wind. As a fire burneth a wood, as a flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever, yea, let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth.
And that goes into the time where, Yahweh Shem Shah gonna bring these devils down. See, these devils gonna feel at the moment that they're gonna be able to get their enterprise off the ground, basically saying Yahweh Shah's gonna let them get it up a little bit to the point that the time he comes, we brought out yesterday, Job, what is that? I think that was Job 20, is it 23 and 20? Yeah. While yet he's eating, he was basically come slap it out of his mouth.
Yeah, the fullness of his something like that.
Yeah, So, what we're seeing right now, we're seeing this all play out. You know, we're seeing them coming together, these nations coming together, but they're showing war, but they're showing it as if they're against each other, but they're about to push this new world order, which also goes back into the MOTB.
Right.
Because that's what it's really all about. Like the brother was saying, when you said earlier before we hit the camera, that it's gonna be a digital area where they're gonna be watching who goes in and who goes out. It's not gonna be like it is now.
A digital border.
A digital border, You know, and these are things that are about to happen. Which when Trump was talking about the depression and whatnot, the trickle down effect. They close that border, or they say they close it, whatever. They hike up prices in America. They hike up gas. They hike up oil and everything else. See, y'all got to think about this too. What does his name say? You'll have nothing and love it.
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum.
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum. He was saying that a year or 2 years ago. They'll have nothing and love it. They'll eat the bugs. So what was he telling you then? Before this happened, they were all telling the Americans, hey, y'all, it's about to fall. It's about to come down. We're telling you. We're telling you.
And also there's like who was it? Elon Musk.
Yep.
He was saying there's not going to be no jobs in the future
Yep.
because everything's going to be done by AI. And then going back to what the brother was speaking about, you will have nothing and like it. That's where that universal basic income comes in.
There it is.
Well, you're going to have an allotment of funds, but guess what? In order to be access to those funds, you're gonna have to take the RFID chip, man. You know, but it's gonna be basically the world's gonna be under welfare system, man.
Yep. It's gonna be in a dystopia. So it's gonna be. Is it dystopia? I'm saying, if I'm saying the right one, dystopian. So it's gonna be bad, you know. But see, at the end of the day, like the brother was saying earlier, this ain't nothing new. They've been playing this game for a long time. Now they're finally starting to push it because they got the technology, they got the stuff to actually push it. So now once they push it, that's another reason why the Georgia Guidestones are destroyed. Keep the population under 500 billion or something like that.
Right.
So you start understanding all the things that Esau did tell you. He was telling you that these things are going to, he put things in the movie that this will be like this. Certain movies you'll be eating rat burgers. There'll be cannibalism. It's going to pop back up. So we're about to face all these things. So when Trump's talking about in that video we just watched, oh yeah, we're coming into a depression. Now you understand what's about to hit, which also goes into Jeremiah 37, Brother Salak. You have something to say?
Because honestly, at the end of the day, you're right. Because a lot of these things are so progressive, like streaming, right? Because streaming, you don't own in the movies. You don't own anything on there. You just allow access to it. It's basically it hits the entertainment first, because you're more used to it. Like and now I think with Tesla, now they're doing subscription service for the autopilot. Even though it's built into your car, I think BMW gotta buy monthly for the heating seats. It's everything like you don't it's there, but you don't own any of it. You just allow them to use it.
Yeah, you gotta buy a license for it, man.
Yep. It's an app. It's an app that you gotta constantly pay. What is that called? A subscription. So everything in your life is gonna be a subscription, which half the time it is now already to a certain degree. When you really pay attention to things you have, you got Netflix, whatever it may be.
What's the word for subscription, bro? Leasing, right?
Leasing, yeah.
So when the brother said you're gonna own nothing because you don't never own it, you're leasing it.
Exactly, you're leasing now.
When you lease a vehicle, you never own it.
Nope.
You just rent it out from month to month.
And well, the same thing with your houses. How many you got a 30-year mortgage? You never. I mean, in the time we live in, come on, you're leasing. Right. At the end of the day, even an apartment, we're leasing it.
Yeah, leasing everything.
Yeah.
Hey, the Lord, not the Lord, but this nigga, fucking this red guy, he makes you understand leasing and everything. Even the women, that's a lease. Because now it's these hoes ain't loyal. These women, they're temporary. But he makes it like that so that you can get used to it. From the housing to everything that's in you, like your comfort. Because you know what? I was listening to a video earlier, and it said that it's all programmed for you to not really have a real relationship.
Right.
From your apartment housing to your cars, because it's all temporary. It's all set up for you to have something that's small. And going back to what you said, it's a welfare system. The CDBC. That's what they're actually trying to bring about. If I said that right, the CDBC, which is that universal basic income. Right. Well, he wants you to be on that system of temporariness, and if you get out of pocket, well, now he ain't gotta pay you, ho. He's making you the ho. He's making you the product.
Right.
Con.
scripture says, you're going to come to our enemy for the one
One
of all things, man.
Yeah.
You know, and this devil, well, ultimately the purpose of that ship is to make you a slave.
Yep.
That goes back to
Oh.
when they back in the ancient days when they put a hole in the slave's ear, you know, to mark possession.
Yep.
So they're doing that with that chip, man. That's gonna be a form of
What's it
identifying
Yeah.
possession by your enemy, man. You know, that chip's to identify that your possessor owns you, which is gonna be these the so-called white men, the devil, man.
Yeah, and also too, when you think about it, this is something that's even to a certain degree. If you look up China, you know, China has a social credit system.
Right.
Basically, that's what it's going to be times 1,000. Because if you ever pay attention to what's going on to the people in China, and you know, they got their people on lock. I mean, to a lot of them, you know, are just laying out there on the side of the street because
Destroyed.
they're destroyed because they can't eat, they can't get nothing. And if a person come and give them something, and them cameras catch them, they in trouble.
Yeah.
That's-
also North Korea.
And you see,
You know, they don't allow internet over there, man. You know, and it's very strict. You know, everybody gotta have a certain haircut.
Mhm.
You're gonna have it's mandatory that you have the ruler's picture inside of your home. You know, it's just that things like that, man. You know, Esau's gonna do the same thing over here. You know, he wants strict control over all things because the scripture says, you know, he wants to be like the Most High, man.
Con. And see, and with that being said, you know, what is it? And the brother said he wants to be like the Most High. What is that? 2 Thessalonians.
Right.
If a brother can get that 2 Thessalonians 2:4, because that's exactly what he wants to be. And another thing he wants to be like the Most High is all these cameras. The scriptures say, well, Yahushua, what does it say? That his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. It's a witness or seeing everything. So now, see, once again, this devil wants to be God. At the end of the day, we're talking about these Edomites. At the end of the day, now I'm quite sure these heathens got their own thoughts and whatnot, but you were talking about Esau, Edom, the ringleader. You know, at the end of the day, this is what he wants.
Well, they think they figured out eternal life already, man, because they think they can transfer your consciousness
Into
to the internet or to a cloud. You know what I'm saying? They actually think they can do that, man. They actually think they figured out how to live forever.
No, you know what they're doing? They're creating more idols.
Yeah.
Because you know what's gonna happen to you, nigga? You're dead. You go to the spirit world.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Right. Yeah, because you know why? Because the Most High is the Father of spirits. Esau ain't control nothing, man. What does Scripture say? To Yahushua belongs the issues of life,
Life and death.
Life and death. So Esau thinks that he got eternal life figured out. He don't, man. You know?
Yeah, because he thinks that AI and these robots and all this other stuff is gonna be his salvation. But that ain't nothing new, because when you watch these old movies, what do you see? They try to iRobot, or you see different things. Oh, they can dream, they have consciences and all this other stuff. There's a lot of movies they bring up that they really think that they're gonna be able to have the technology to put your spirit inside of a machine and keep it there.
Yeah, and they just want to be like Jake, bro.
That's all it
You
is.
know, Jake's gonna have immortal life under Yahushua, man.
God.
That's what that movie Get Out.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they transferred the brain into a Jake's body.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, they probably try to do some shit like that.
The movie Elysium, if I'm saying that right, with Matt Damon. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Matt Damon.
I was saying the game called Fall of New Vegas. Everybody played it. Basically, the dude in Dr. House, he knew the missile was gonna come, so he put himself up to a big ass machine in Las Vegas to be eternal. We lived like last 400 years. Because he didn't want his kingdom to fall. Even then, all he cared about was making as much money, even in the apocalypse.
But that's basically Fallout.
Fall of Vegas.
Yeah. Because yep. Because he his brain was basically uploaded into the system. But yeah, no, you can't go past what the Lord already has, man. As far as this flesh, and the Lord blessed this man in the flesh, and it doesn't go past the spirit, man. But even going towards what did you say, brother?
What's up?
The certain thing that you had mentioned
Which one?
concerning Esau trying to expand his
He tried to upload his consciousness through like the internet.
No, it's not gonna go past that, man. All right, because the Lord has it set up to where your bound shall not pass. You know, and that's just the end of the story, man.
Right, and the reason that he believes these things is because the Lord has said left-hand side spirits to convince him of so. There's like always like to bring up that, I think it's in Chronicles or Kings, can't remember, where they had a council in heaven, and the Lord said, one angel said, I shall be a deceiving spirit, and I will tell the king this, that, the other. That's what the Lord's doing right now, man.
Yep.
He's sending the deceiving spirit to Esau to lead let them think that they can overcome the Most High, man. But I'm gonna get this real quick. Daniel 7:20. Daniel, where was that at, man? Daniel 7:25. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And to change times and laws, they shall be given into his hand, or to a time and a time, a valued time. The Lord said, man, you know, he has a certain he has a limit, he has a boundary, man, of what he's allowed to accomplish upon the earth. You mentioned that scripture in Job, right? Where it says in the fullness of his
I got it.
Got it.
Go ahead, go and get that, brother.
Yeah, this is Job 20:23. When he is about to fill his belly, actually I can start at verse 22. In the fullness of insufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand in straits, meaning it's gonna be a hardship. Just notice this: everybody's starting to revolt against these data centers, man.
Yeah.
Right? And because guess what? They're putting out they're like, hold on, wait a fucking minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Why the fuck we ain't got no money? Why is it hard for us to travel and afford for our families? But yeah, y'all got all this money for all this bullshit, and we don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yep.
All right. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And like I said, the average, everyday people, the people that are serving and giving you the ability to do the bullshit that you're doing, they know that they're being fucked over.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, and they don't like it. They're speaking out against it, man. So much the brother we did the video with the brother Yeshai,
Yeshai
and Tazpanya, and Yeshai brought out that part that there's a lot of people like they're trying to make a law to where you're not going to be able to revolt against it. If your state doesn't accept it, well, people are going to go to jail or be killed.
Oh yeah, because that's what it is. That be killed part is definitely what it's going to be, because they know. See, Esau knows he's going to get a revolt. That's why, you had the TSA a couple of years back. They had, 40,000 ammunition of guns and all that stuff. And you wonder, why does the TSA that watches airplanes, that have all these guns and bullets? But technically it's not for them. It was really for the stormtroopers, the ICE agents and whatnot. When you really go into look into what that's about to do to shut down people from flying out and going into the borders and different things of that sort. But also proving that these people I kind of lost my thought there, so I kept what I was thinking about what they're about to push, basically.
Well, you saw he really got military units.
Yeah,
specifically, their role is basically for domestic uprising.
Uprising, con. And that's what doesn't go down to like the water. That's what
because I don't know if you remember when Trump said, I think it was like a year ago, something like that he was going to use Chicago and these other places like that as training grounds for these troops, man.
And they're doing it. They just did it. It was misspoke a couple of weeks ago. It was in California at the old St. Luke's building in California that they had the Blackhawks, and they were coming down the Blackhawks in the old St. Luke's hospital, and they were doing their training. I guess the neighbors kept saying they were hearing bang, boom, brr, brr. So what they're doing is they're getting ready for urban warfare.
Right.
So pretty soon they gonna come after the American people.
And what's gonna set off that civil unrest? Well, one of those things is gonna be this depression that's coming.
Yep.
That's gonna set off civil unrest. When you have lack of food and lack of resources, lack of jobs or even air conditioning. That's gonna set off civil unrest, man. And these troops, they know that, man. These elites, they know that. That's why they're putting all their chess pieces in place. Going back to that movie, The First Purge, man.
Yeah.
Where they had those troops, even the Forever Purge. They did that too. They had the militias and all these other things where they were set up to basically to bring hell on Jake, man.
The best one actually was the one you mentioned, that First Purge.
Yeah.
Forever Purge, cool. It's like everything, but any of those purges, the best one was the First Purge. Because the way that they broke it down is that they were really coming after Jay. They gave you a realization, aside from it being a way much better movie.
Right.
It's just a simple fact. You can see how they're trying to do this. All right. How they're gonna go from house to house and do and initialize this. Well, we wanted it to be like this, but we had to kind of nudge it a little. You cannot actually see that that's what he is going to do. He's gonna come up into different places and say we had to do this shit after the shit then went down. We had to do this. to
This
make
is the
sure
new
there
thing,
wasn't
yeah.
any terrorism.
Yeah, going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in that movie, Jake he wasn't really breaking the laws, man. They were just partying and shit.
Yeah.
So they had to bring in those shock troops, you know, from the side to get at Jake, man. You know, that's what they did. You know, and so they're gonna they do that today. Like I don't know, brothers hear stories where they just drop pallets of guns
Yeah.
in inner cities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people have been testifying to that. Like that's actually happened, man.
Guns and bricks to get a riot started, so they have a reason to come
even
in.
the story of Freeway Rick Ross, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was given the connects to push crack or push drugs into the neighborhoods, man, by the government. He even testified that in court. That there was FBI agents working with him, man.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snowfall, yeah.
Exactly, bro.
It's honestly, I think it's been proven that too that the FBI shot MLK.
Mm.
They did a whole trial against it. Like, I think the trial against like only like $50, right? Like the family against FBI basically. But the whole thing was to prove that hey, the federal government had a power to do something like that, man.
Mm-hmm. They always got that.
And true, they do planning. Remember like years ago the whole BLM that was all up in a riot. So they had videos like, hey, these bricks are just out there.
Yeah.
They still like, hey, we're not that dumb. We know that you put
them out there.
We know you plant this here.
Yeah.
Because it's not like there's rioting. I was like because Esau wants to have they want these uprisings. They want things like look at them.
Yeah.
They're uncontrollable. We need to control them.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you said that with Esau one, because Esau's pushing a race war too, which is gonna come. Because see, that's another reason why Esau's having these so-called, these Israelites, these so-called Hispanics or so-called black kids, little kids getting shot in the street, or the cops are slamming them on the ground, or doing this, and because they're pushing for that. They want Jake to get that enough that anger them to start shooting back, to start doing it. So then they come and say, well, see, we needed to do this, we needed to do that. See, these animals are out of control, which if you start looking at social media, you start to notice that more and more and more and more. That Jake's getting killed more. Now instead of the adults as much, it's turning towards the children.
Nuck if you buck.
Uh-huh.
I said nuck.
Oh, you said nuck if you buck.
I got a precept for
Go
you.
ahead.
This is Genesis 49:9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prairie, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. You know, because in society, Jake wants to chill, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay down.
Yeah.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Guess what? This devil. The Lord is putting the spirit on this devil to make Jake get crunk, man.
And that's gonna be a problem for it, because when Jake rise up, boy, because you got to understand what's about to happen. Not that we're not getting involved in this, but when Jake rises up, when Judah rises up, the rest of the tribes rise up. Because once Judah gets moving, then it's Issachar, Ephraim, and everybody else. And Esau gonna have a fight on his hand to say, but at the same time, these are things that are gonna come, which goes right for brother. Give me Jeremiah 30:7. So now you start to see where this is going. This is touching different things, going from what Trump has said, to all the things that are about to trickle down. No food. Can I get 2 Ezra 6:22 also? The storehouses should be found empty. Also 2 Ezra 15 chapter. So all these things are the things that are about to happen. When he said that we're about to come into a depression, everything we're about to read is what's about to hit the fan. Who got what first?
I got it, Jeremiah.
2 Ezra 15.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Mm-hmm.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
So now you have to understand, like we went into this kind of yesterday, at last, this time is great. There's none is like it. This is something new. What's really about to happen. Not that there's not been wars and, people at each other's throats, but this is going to be on a scale that's unprecedented to say. It's never been happening what's about to happen. So we're about to come into the time of just great death, Was it any more? And the last part says, what did it say? Go to the last part, brother, please.
Yeah, but he shall be saved out of it.
And who's going to be saved out of it is the elect. That's why I said earlier, when we see these things happen, we're not getting involved in this. We're going to sit back and watch. Because these are things that Yahweh Shemashah said that would even happen.
Now That's
Oh.
144.
Oh, call Allah Yahweh Shah. But these are the things that Yahweh Shah said that would happen in our time. And this is going into Jacob's trouble, and the brothers gonna get the rest of the things that are gonna happen. Who had it?
15.
Come.
I have 622.
Oh, let me get that. The storehouse shall be empty. Because see, going into what the brothers about to read in 2nd Ezra 6:22, about the storehouse shall be found empty. Also, that's going into what? A depression. No food. Food's gonna not there's gonna be no food, but the food's gonna be extremely scarce, and then they're gonna push that digital ID for people to eat. Go ahead.
Con 2nd 6:22, and reading suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown,
Mhm.
the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty.
Con. Go a little further.
Con, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid.
Mm-hmm.
At the time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run.
So now you're going back until you start to understand what's about to happen. So with that being said, it's more like, there's no food. There's no food to get. Now friends and family are turning on each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get real bad. Then the B&E game starts.
Yeah.
The breaking and entering starts. Because people here in America, like we brought out yesterday, you think about people in America are not used to going without.
Yeah.
They're not used to going out eating.
Because America, they rely on bread and circus, man.
Con.
Well, guess what? The kind of depression, ain't gonna be no bread, ain't gonna be no circus.
Nope.
It's gonna be depression, man.
That's all it's going to be.
This is Isaiah 24, start at verse 7. It says, "A new wine mourneth, the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted do sigh."
Mm.
So that means that you ain't gonna be happy about no shit, man. You're gonna be in a depression. It says, "The mirth of tabrets ceases, the noise of them that rejoice in this, the joy of the harp ceases." It says there ain't gonna be no good times, man. You ain't be able to go to the bar and get a drink or do any things that make your life somewhat enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Strong drink should be bitter.
Yeah. They shall not drink wine was a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Yeah. It says, so, brother says, "The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All the joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. It is a city. In the city is left desolation." So what's desolation, man? Basically, ain't nothing going on in there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no food. Ain't no good times. Ain't no folly. Ain't no World Cup. Ain't no FIFA.
Nothing.
Yeah. And the city is left in desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. That could go into how these sharks could go in there and start ravishing women and killing motherfuckers in the houses, and these just breaking in, man, breaking in and getting you, man.
Mm-hmm.
When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, it shall be as the shaking of an olive tree and as the bleeding grapes when the vintage is done. Then they shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of the Lord, they shall cry aloud from the sea. With the point of it is, man, that America is going into a time of the scriptures called the beginning of sorrows, man.
Mm-hmm.
So sorrow is another word that coincides with depression, man. So when that's spiritual, that this Trump character says we're getting into a worldwide depression, because that's going into a time like no other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jacob's trouble described, right? At a time of no other. This is going to happen. So what he's saying is that it's just going this is going to have a worldwide effect on the planet Earth, man. It ain't just going to be centralized in one place. Because right now there's all that shit going on in the world, but it doesn't affect you here right now.
Exactly.
There's a martial law, and there's martial law, and there's a famine, and there's a mass death, and all kinds of places all around the world, but it ain't here though. But pretty soon that's gonna be on the worldwide scale, man.
Yeah, and when it hit here, it's gonna be real bad when it hit here. It's gonna be extremely bad.
Yeah, because all those things are coming to America, man. Like that scripture says, I think it's in Jeremiah where it says, like a virgin untouched, so to speak. Like she speak about Babylon, like she's never been
touched.
She never been touched, man.
Yeah, this mother.
Yeah.
She about to be touched. I know. I thought that was one in Revelation about that.
Yeah.
You can't play the hoe all the time, and
Right.
then you're trying to be a virgin. Eventually, that's gonna happen.
Yep.
Yeah, she gonna get.
Somebody gonna take
She
that.
gonna get took, man.
Uh-huh. And see at the end of the day, these are the things that are going to happen. Did you have something?
Oh, let's have the let's go on to the debt real quick.
Go ahead.
This is the AI summary of the world debt. It says global debt, which is an all-time high of nearly 353 trillion. Trillion. I think that's what the 9 zeros, 8 or 9 or 12 zeros.
Trillion, yeah.
Yeah, thousands, hundreds and thousands, millions, billions. Yeah, 12 zeros.
Trillions.
And it's
Not, just say it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a
That
fucking
goes into
lot.
that debt, that clay.
Driven by a surge of both government and private sector, credit, the staggering total includes more than 253% of the world gross product.
And that's another reason why people are actually against this whole data center shit.
Right.
Because, I mean, like, guys like Elon Musk ain't shit. And when we talk about the elites, it's all conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
If people only fucking knew, they would really ride.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the reasons why people are so upset, because this guy now recently is starting to, I think he's on the verge of becoming a trillionaire.
I think it is now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically, well, in people's heads, anybody who's rationally thinking, and that's another reason why they really, when they really do figure out the elites are on that, they gonna riot.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, wait the fuck a minute. Why the fuck am I paying for all this shit?
Yeah.
I'm a dollar. I'm a dollar.
That's it. You got all this money. What you pay
the
for?
fuck, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Mhm.
This guy has all this money. Why can't he pay for the funding that you guys want? And he's, buddy with people in the White House. So that's another reason why these people are about to tear shit apart, man.
Jeff Bezos, all of them.
Yep.
Right. And then all these things that are happening make sense because they said that there's only like 85 seconds left in the doomsday clock.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the closer we get to that midnight, hey, the worse shit gonna be.
Is it July? Was it 200 years or something?
250 years.
Yeah.
250 years in July.
250 years, and they say 250 years is the average time span of an empire.
Uh-huh. So, these are the things that are about to happen. We didn't get a second or 15th chapter because these things are going to happen too. These are things that we're about to see, that we're about to come into. So all the comforts of what you have now is going to be gone real soon. Your job, there's going to be no more jobs. Like they were saying earlier, what's that? Did you find about the Ecclesiastes? The grinder shall cease.
Okay. Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble," because right now the elites are trembling, man, because they understand. Well, first off, how do y'all figure this out? We spent trillions and billions of dollars for you to not figure this out.
Uh-huh.
So that's the ultimate reason why you guys are scared, man.
Yeah, because they know. Go ahead.
And the strong men shall bow themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and the grinders shall cease because there are few.
No jobs. Grinders shall cease. Those are your jobs. A lot of us are happy when it's happening. We're kind of like, we're tired of doing all this. But but you Babylonians, you American people, the bread and the circus and the wine and all that stuff, you're not going to have anymore. You're not going to even have a job. It's going to be people, it's going to be tent city or it's going to be tarps out there because you're not going to be able to own any of this stuff. Go ahead. Is that it on it?
Nope. And those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Mm-hmm.
And because it,
No future.
even going into it, but your medium system. All right, you're not gonna have any answers, man. Your Chaldeans, your warlocks, and your witches. It's not gonna be any answer for you guys, man. All right, it's just gonna be
It is
the
what
right
it
hand
is.
side. The right hand side, brothers that's in this truth. We're gonna be the only ones who have the light in that day.
Gone.
And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
And then so you got to think about that too, because I know looking at Chicago, different places that Elder Malcolm was showing a couple of years back, or the elders Tahar and Apostle Rahman and all them were showing in New York and different places when they start walking past, and they had all these businesses that used to be there are all boarded up. It was flourishing business at one point. Now, what do you see? And see, this is something that's trickling down that's already happening on small scales. Because a couple of years ago, there was a lot of these jobs were getting boarded up.
And in Chicago, if I may speak, was one of the wonders of the world. They even had the World Circus there at one point, man. Mm-hmm. It was a travel area, and to be honest, it's a lot of it's a delegation area because it's right there in the middle of the Midwest. A lot of imports go through there. Mm-hmm. You have to travel through there. So once Chicago stops, a lot of shit is gonna stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that it on that?
The grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the sound, at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And we see that now, man.
Yeah.
The music sucks.
Yeah.
There's no innovation.
Go ahead, got it.
There's no innovation, man. All right, everything is quick. First off, it took a while for tracks to come out, and then when it did finally come out, it was amazing. It was timeless. So we live in times where the music it really sucks. Everything's just about adultery. Not that it wasn't so much about that in the past.
Right.
Is that it took time to make these different tracks, and it's something that people could live by. Those tracks, you know, you remember. Yeah, you go about your day-to-day life. Hey, somebody listen to that same track. Oh, I heard this with my mother.
Yeah.
And it had a reason.
Right.
But nowadays, the Lord did. Hey, He really cut it.
Yeah.
Now they're making whole albums with AI, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so that's crash music. It's not even real music anymore. You know, they're not even using like real instruments either.
Yeah, Nick Hustle, bro. Brother, I was with the brothers the other night. They didn't even know that the one artist who we were listening to, he was basically AI. It was a Jake that created it. That's the reason why it still sounded good. What was his name? Nick Hustle.
Yeah.
Nick Hustle Salaki. But it was all AI.
All right. Huh.
There's no innovation in this place. So it's on the verge of what? Destruction. If the people have no meaning in this place, all right, their purpose, and like a nigga will tell you, oh yeah, that's good that what you talking about. We had so many guys that come out of the line and it's like they just always feel like their purpose was to do this or that, and they were right. You know, they were gonna be destroyed in those things, but they were right. You're meant to go out there into the music industry and do these things, but guess what? There's a recompense that comes with that. So when the Lord has destroyed that innovation on this side, when you go into Sirach the 39th chapter, where there's no they shall not be found amongst great men. Their purpose is to do this and that. But hey, the Lord is going to destroy this whole system if you're going by that, man. You know, like these people, they go by that in this world, and the Lord has destroyed their whole purpose. That means the Lord is about to end this age.
Call all y'all watch my shot. We tired of this. We tired of this stuff. We want it to come to an end. It is what it is, man. At the end of the day, and it's coming. Y'all watching my shot. It's like, hold on, y'all. I'm coming. Y'all see what's going on. Be patient, and you see what I'm doing. You see the chess moves. I'm showing it to you. I'm showing you how the game is going. You know, and then he was like the brother was saying earlier that the elites are like, how in the world do y'all know about this? We doing stuff behind closed doors, and y'all know what we're doing. You know, y'all are able to explain it. You know, at the end of the day, and the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't listen, but the elect will, which lets us know, that proves that when y'all watching our shot, this is for the elect. Now, the 2/3, they hear what we saying, but they brush it off. They really gonna feel the effects when the jaws clamp down, when they really realize, like, wait a minute, everything they were saying was true.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna be caught in derision, as the scriptures say. And at that point, you've already taken the MOTB, you've already made Esau, Edom your God. You've done all this, so now the stomping comes on you, on 2/3 of Israel. But you was warned. And the scriptures talk about when you go back to Jeremiah 30:7, that Jacob shall be saved out of it. The remnant that he elect would be saved out of it. Why? Because they were the ones that were doing what Yahweh Shah said to do to the best of their ability. You know, that's why we do videos. We go on the highways and byways. We live our life to the best of our ability, not to be messing up and doing dumb stuff. We stick to Yahweh Shem Shah because we know what's about to happen. And he's the one that's causing this, you know? And then somebody said, well, how do you know that God's causing this? When you go to Proverbs, what is that? Was that in Proverbs 1? Is it 21? That he directs the minds of the kings like rivers? So whichever way it should go, he gives them the ideas.
I think it's 29.
He turned it the way. So I'm letting you know with that scripture that Yahweh Shem Shah is doing everything. This is his movie. And he's allowing us to sit back and watch it too, even though we game players in it. Be like, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to show you what's going to happen. I'm going to show you the things that's going to happen. And y'all do this will protect you from you know? But see, we're telling Israel, as we were told and commanded, hey, go out and warn Israel of me. Ezekiel 33:7, down. The prophets, hey, blow the horn, blow the trumpet. Let them know all the things that are about to happen. While most of our people out there playing around and jumping around, singing and jumping and dancing and doing all this, while all these things going to happen. When things start happening, why, Lord, why? We've been giving you the answer.
Right.
Yahweh Shai is not gonna come out of the sky and start talking to y'all.
Yes, Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
So at the end of the day, it's Yahweh Shai that's directing these raggedy kingdoms, these people, these higher elites to do this, to do that, and whatnot. At the end of the day, so that that lets us know that's gonna bring our salvation even quicker, because all these things are having this. It's a domino effect. Everything's happening, and all we're doing is warning the house of Israel before it completely explodes to the point where we're not able to speak to y'all no more. Yeah. Who had the second address, the 15th chapter? That's, because these things are gonna happen too, and I always going to you women, like, what are you women gonna do when all this hit? Because at the end of the day, all that, I don't need a man, all that stuff, that, boy, it's about to be real bad. Let me let the brother go and get it.
Was it Jeremiah 4:1?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be in effect, man.
Oh yeah, Jeremiah 4:1, or is it 7 women shall take hold of one man? Mm-hmm. And when that happens, that's not talking about 7 women gonna take on just any man running around, but it's basically really for the elect.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they see that the men of the Lord are being protected by the Most High, the scripture says that people shall be given the day of thy power, man.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a time when the 1/3 of our people are gonna be coming in, man. Because Jake, he's like the scripture says, they saw his children, man. They need to see things, We right now we believe it all through faith, man.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen none of it, but we believe it all through faith, man. It was hope is something that faith is something these hope for something like that.
Yeah, hope for Khan.
Yeah. This is second Ezra 15:1. It says the second book of the prophet Ezra, the son of Sarias, the son of Azarias, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Sattanias, the son of Zadok, the son of I just jumped down to the point. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Go thy way, show my people that are sinful. Well, these ones, 2 15:1.
Uh-huh. 2 15 and 15 down.
15 and 15.
Yeah, because all the things that are about that, because we're talking about the breaking and entering. These are things that are about to come during this what do you call it? Depression.
Yeah, depression could just you could just substitute the word depression with Jacob's trouble, man.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It says 2 15 and 15. For the sword of destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Weapon, the modern day gun. So now you're gonna start. See, right now you don't hear gunfire right now. You go to work, you see people going here and there in their day to day, whatever people were doing. This is about to get to the point where every day you're gonna be hearing screams.
Right.
People are getting drug out, I'm not talking about the military. I'm talking about just common people, your next door neighbor, the people you live next door to.
Yeah.
And your little high rises and your apartment complex and your cookie cutter homes. It's gonna get real grimy out here.
Yeah, it's gonna be all these Edomites that stockpile weapons.
Yep.
They're gonna be doing some killing, man.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Because the Lord's gonna use them as a sword, as a judgment against the 2/3.
Yeah, they're gonna be slaughtering.
It says, for the sword of destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. But there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Breaking and entering, sedition, breaking and entering.
And they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Not listening, that anarchy. In other words, they're not listening, nothing to what the government says, nothing what the police say. And at the end of the day, there's not going to be any police, because I think it was Agenda 2030 or something like that. They're talking about the police are not going to be policing. Yeah. They're not coming for domestic violence and other things like that. Yeah. I believe that was happening in Chicago at first. They were really talking about that a few years back, that time was gonna come where the police wasn't gonna be doing what the police do now.
Well, they're gonna be like, stay inside your home. They ain't gonna be doing that.
Yeah.
They'll be out there, causing shit, man. They said, for they shall be seditious upon man, invading one another. They shall regard their kings. They should not regard their kings or princes. In the course of their action shall stand in their power. The man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able.
Martial law.
For because of their pride, that goes also to the 15-minute cities.
Yep.
They want to establish as well. Said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. So behold, says the Most High Power, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south to the east, and to Lebanon.
Yes.
To turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. that goes back to what the Battle of Armageddon, right?
Yeah.
With the Lord's gonna he's gonna gather up all the armies.
Mm-hmm. And to Yahweh Shabbat, you know, out there in the so-called Middle East, Western Asia, out there basically for that war, and that war is that controversy for Zion for us. At the end of the day, you know, it's just so. At the end of the day, it's really about to be popping.
Right.
It's about to be popping.
And he's gonna destroy these other armies for Israel's sake, man.
Come.
Scripture says that, you know. It says, "For your sake I have destroyed kings." You know, for your sake I have destroyed armies, man. That's part of our salvation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why salvation only belongs to the Israelite, so-called Black to Native American man, because a big part of salvation is the destruction of our enemies, man. It says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense in the bosom, thus says the Most High Power. You know, so whatever they do to us little ones, you know, the Lord gonna get them back, man. If not my little ones, it'd be better than a millstone tied around his neck,
Picture
cast to the sea.
Yep.
It said, "My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and the sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth." That's Esau all day, man. Who shed innocent blood upon the earth? That's Esau all day right there. Mm-hmm. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and has consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, says the Most High. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power that foul not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, ye shall remain in them, for Yahweh shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against them.
Mm-hmm.
That's who that's speaking to, man.
Two-thirds of our people. Zechariah 13:8, that two-thirds is going to be wiped out. It goes right back, we brought out yesterday, Isaiah 30, I think that's Isaiah 30 or 31. Woe to them to go down to Egypt for help. All those that trusted in Esau, Edom, which is two-thirds of our people.
Yeah.
You know, you made Esau your God. That's who you trusted in. Yahweh Shem. I said, fine, stay your butt right there then. That's that, what is that? I think it's that Isaiah 31:12. It come like a breaking wall, comes instantly. Mm-hmm. You know, something roughly paraphrasing. So going back to it, the things that are happening, things that Trump is doing, this is the trickle down effect. And the only way out of this is through Yahweh Shai. But a lot of you don't want to go to Yahweh Shai. A lot of you don't want to repent. And so at the end of the day, what's going to happen to you? You're going to face all the things we just read. Two-thirds of Israel. We're not worried about the heathen and everybody else. And honestly, we're not worried about two-thirds of our people, but we still warn you because we're told to warn you. You know, at the end of the day. But see, the video and what Trump is saying, if anybody's paying attention to what's going on with Trump and things that he's saying, which people are, you know, he talks about the depression. What's the downside effect of it? Because then see, when he said it, he's not sitting there. He's sitting there playing like he's worried. Right. He don't give a damn. He's like the same thing he said. He didn't give a crap about the American people not having no money, or if they didn't have gas money. He's like, I ain't got time to worry about the American people, but they ain't basic. I don't care. I'm worried about this war. I care less. Because at the end of the day, he gonna be like, all right, time to get on the plane and head on to my bunker.
Yeah. Ultimately, he's just doing whatever the elites
tell him to do. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you start to see what's gonna happen. Did brother have anything else before we close out?
I had that scripture you had called.
Which one?
Isaiah.
Go ahead, yeah, get it, bro.
It's Isaiah 30:12. Because going back to like, hey, you've been warned. Isaiah 30:12, it says, "Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly in an instant."
Yep. So that's what you get for trusting in Esau, Edom. It's gonna break. You don't know how it will break. What's gonna happen? A fall. And at that time, you're falling. You're praying. Jeremiah 11:11 comes to mind when you praying and going on. And Yahushua says, "Hey, he don't hear you. You didn't hear his prophets. You wasn't listening, so I'm not gonna listen to you." But see, at the end of the day, you was warned, and it starts from as we said, the depression. Of course, it started before then, but now this devil talking about a depression. These are the effects that are about to come. This is what's coming down the pike. What we just read, the scriptures. And you know what else? We happy because we know what it means. We know that soon we're going home. You know? But if brothers don't have nothing else, we can go ahead and close out. Well, you know, I'm going to say this. I hope you was edified. We're going to give all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash, and Shalom until the next time.